Initiating system 1.
Alright, what's up everybody? It's Seeker, CKR, Cyber Combat Realm, here with another video. And today we're going to be talking about a new topic. One topic that seems to keep coming up every single time someone complains about Mortal Kombat 1. And what is that topic, my dear fellow viewers? That topic is, do you need to know everything about Mortal Kombat 1's game mechanics to have an opinion about the game? And the answer is quite simple. Well, let's dive right into it. Do you really need to know everything there is to be known about Mortal Kombat 1's, how do you say, game mechanics? No, you don't. In order to form an opinion, I would say that you could at least have played the game. But even then, because some people believe that you must play a video game to actually give an honest opinion. But you don't necessarily need to play the game either to give an honest opinion about the game. Sure, it would help, but you can always learn by watching other people play the game. For example, that's why review channels exist. People review the games, they tell you about the story, they tell you about gameplay, and they give you some clips to show you some game footage. And if you enjoy it, guess what happens? You're either gonna buy the game because you enjoyed it, or you are basically going to not buy it because you don't like the game. So you can have an opinion about that to a certain degree, but it does help if you actually play the game. Now, if you play the game, you don't need to know 100% of the game mechanics in order to have an opinion about the game. For example, you have the only pros who believe that the only people who can talk about the game is people who are pro players. Your FGC people, your pro leagues, your combo breakers, etc. They think that they're gods because they're good at the game, or like a couple buddies of mine would say on Discord, that they think that they're very good at pushing buttons and therefore they're gods and no one else can have an opinion but them because they apparently know the game when they don't. So then you have guys like Sonic Sucks, or Captain Poopy Pants is what I call him, who thinks that because you don't play at his level that you're all dog water. So clearly you don't have an opinion because you're dog water according to Captain Poopy Pants, Sonic Fox. And that's not how that works. You see, again, you do not need to be a pro league gamer to have an opinion. You do not need to know all the mechanics of the game to have an opinion. All you have to do is play the game and criticize it, or what you like and what you don't like, and what's broken and what's not. For example, we all know, unless you're on some ultimate copium here, that the cameo mechanic isn't that great. It's not. If it would have been a normal assist for the game, it would have been fine. But clearly, it's not a normal assist. And there are issues with it. There's lacks of counter defense. There are not a lot of counterbalances, countermeasures to fight off the pressure that you can get from fighting another person plus the cameo. And yeah, and more videos keep surfacing up on the internet about said cameo problems, which I won't be posting today. Today's just a discussion video, I guess, or a rant, if you will. I don't know. It's just me talking. So yeah. Um, so my fellow viewers, don't let anyone bullshit you and try to gaslight you into thinking that you do not have any right to make a comment or a criticism against a video game because you are not a professional or because you don't know all the mechanics. You don't need to know everything there is to know about the game to be a consumer or a customer first and say what you don't like a certain thing. I know a lot of the mechanics in the game and I can tell you they're shit. They're not very good, but it all comes from a subjective point of view, uh, which is what a lot of these people don't understand. And the problem is that more people are disliking the game than people are liking the game, which is why I say it's gaslighting. It's copium. They're coping. They're trying to cope so very bad. Uh, so yeah. So when it comes down to the ultimate things of Mortal Kombat, you can say the gameplay is clanky, slow. Uh, the 1 3 bar combo breakers trash. The cameo system's kind of ass. Uh, and etc. And you don't need to know all the mechanics of the game or to play like a pro in order to have an opinion or even a valid one at that. Because, you can know all the mechanics in the game and you can still be coping and saying this is the best game ever when it's not. Most people don't give a shit about pro players. Most people don't give a shit about Pro League. We just want to have fun in our video games. And when you say fun, because here's the other side of the coin that I agree with also. Because a lot of fans nowadays think that because they suck with certain characters, this or they're good with, or another person is good with another character, that somehow that character needs to be nerfed. And NetherRealm Studios is stupid enough to actually believe these guys and actually want to nerf these characters or buff them anytime someone says anything, whether it's a pro, whether it's a casual, tourist, no one cares. You know what I mean? See, this is what, if I'm saying his name, Harada, basically the owner of Tekken, he came out and said that they don't nerf characters based on what people say. They watch to see the characters because, for example, Akuma, I don't know if he's talking about the Street Fighter character or the bear, says that it has a rate of 40%. It has a 40% pick rate, win rate. I'm sorry, a win rate of 40%. And yet people say that he needs to be buffed. And yet in contests or in tournaments, someone picked Akuma and destroyed everyone and won in tournaments. So it's not that the characters usually suck. It's just that some people don't know how to play the characters or want to force a character to play a certain way that isn't based on that, and then they get mad and say it sucks and needs a nerf. A lot of times when people ask for nerfs, it's because they suck in the game themselves. It's not because the character actually needs to be nerfed or buffed, for example. So I agree with that part too. So that's why I'm just talking about, when you have like a legit criticism over the game, then yeah, uh, then it's an issue. Because I can understand that some people do like to turn their lack of skill into nerf this, please, because I suck at the game and I should be able to win everyone, beat everyone. Sorry, can't talk today. Then you also can't always use that as an excuse either. For example, what I mean by that, I mean uh, it's a lack of skill issue because every time you have a complaint, I've noticed, especially in the Mortal Kombat 1 community, every time you have an issue with broken mechanics that make no sense or rather that shouldn't be in the game because, Mortal Kombat shouldn't play like that, essentially you have the people who gaslight you and always tell you that it's a skill problem. when it literally isn't a skill problem at all. It's actually a dev problem because they think that because a dev hands you some tools, that those tools are actually good and it's you who sucks with the tool. No. It's the same problem of why Sonic Fox, and please excuse the background noise. I think it's a train or a plane flying by. But anyways, it's like how Sonic Fox is currently having issues picking up a main in Tekken 8 because most of these guys, most of these fucking pro players or only pros, are always trying to find a character because of meta play. They want to play the meta, or they want to find the cheapest move that they can use. But technically, most characters, all characters in Tekken can beat each other, which is why it goes down to who's better at playing the character. And some people are kind of dumb too. I've watched a match where someone kept doing the same two moves and the other person would not block. Uh, so, but yeah, it's a totally different beast than it is Mortal Kombat. And I wish Mortal Kombat would go back to being good. This Mortal Kombat was a disappointment. And back to the point, again, you do not need to know a game mechanic or the specific 100% game mechanics of the game in order to have a based opinion on the game, whether it's good or bad, or if the mechanic works or doesn't. And that aspect, a little bit of understanding the mechanic would help you, but you don't need to understand the mechanic to say, yeah, I don't personally like this. And it seems to be the case that most people don't like the cameo system, or at least would prefer the cameo system to work in a better juncture or way than it's currently being implemented. I would have preferred to have just normal assists, but or a tag team mode, or a one versus one, because why not? Why the hell do I want to play with cameos when I can play tag team, or I can play 1v1? The only time that I think assists would have worked was if the game would have had a tag team mode. If the game was having a tag team mode, then that would have made more sense to have assists. But since it's not, yeah. But then I'm going off on a rant here. And again, like every other video, I appreciate you guys for being here. I appreciate your subscriptions. I appreciate you subscribing. I appreciate your likes and your comments. Tell me why you agree or disagree. And until next time, thanks again.